You should be making $42 for every $1 you're spending on your email marketing. And if you're not, this video series is for you. If you missed part 1, we spoke about the 8 steps to successful email marketing. There's a link to it above me over here, and you can go watch it after. But if you're just into split testing and want to know how you should be split testing your emails, then stick around for this video. Hey, my name is Kyle Heaney, for those of you who don't know me, and I created videos about how we're going to grow your business or your online business, with your reviews and different trainings and different websites that we're going to use in order to grow your business. But today, we're speaking about email marketing and how you should be making money with your email marketing. And how do we do this and improve ourselves? Well, that's split testing. So that's exactly what we're going to speak about today, the 5 steps to email split testing. This is very important because you cannot just send out random emails and just hope for the best. We want to try different things to see what works with our audience, because everyone has a different audience and they respond to different things. So there's a whole bunch of different things we need to test in order to make our email marketing the best it can be. So for each one of these steps, the name and address, the subject line, email design, content, and timing, we need to test 3 things. And what are those 3 things we need to test? Well, this is what they are: the open rate, the click-through rate, and the unsubscribers. So what is the open rate? So when that email pops up into somebody's email inbox, they're either going to read it or they're just going to ignore it. So your open rate is how many people who actually click on that email to go in to read it. Now, the click-through rate. The click-through rate will mean if you put links inside of your email to go through different things, maybe your website, maybe your product, or maybe to a YouTube video or Facebook page, the click-through rate is how many people of the people who open your email, how many of them clicked on one of your links. And then the one we want to try to avoid, the unsubscribers. This is when people receive your content, they're unhappy with it, and they unsubscribe from your list. And this is what we're trying to avoid. So with split testing, we can avoid this. We just need to try a whole bunch of different things. I'm going to show you what you need to do today. So what is the first thing we're going to test? Well, that's your name and the email address. Why is this important? Because we need to know where these emails are coming from. And if I can give you one great piece of advice, is make sure you have a professional email address for your business. They cost around $10 to $15 for the year, but it's well worth it. Because if you're using a Gmail or Yahoo account, they are more likely to go to spam folders. So make sure you get that professional email address. So what are we going to split test with the name and email address? Well, you're going to test how many characters you're going to put inside the name. You're going to test whether you're going to use your name, whether you're going to use your business name, or a combination of both. So what would we do? So you could use your own personal name. This is if you want to build a personal brand around yourself. So mine would be, hello, my name is Kyle Heaney, and the email would be from info@kyleheaney.com. So this is if I was building a personal brand, where I want people to know me by name. But let's say you want to build a brand around your company. You would use something like the name of your company, mine, Illumination, and then the email address, info@illumination.com. This is for building brand. So you need to see where you want to go and what your email list responds to better. Are they responding better to a name of a business, or are they responding better to a personal email address? So what you need to do first is create a list and send yourself the email. You need to test it on you first. Test it on you, test it on your friends. Make a combination of names, make a combination with your email address, with your name, with your business's name, and see how it works out and see how it looks on the email. So make sure to check it out yourself first, try it on some friends before you start sending it out. But what do you do when you want to send it out? Well, we're going to make a 50-50 list in order to see how it works. So on one side of the list, you're going to have your name and your email. On the other side, you're going to have your business's name and your business's email. And then what we're going to do is, with these 2 lists, we're going to build a singular campaign. And for that campaign of emails, we're going to send it to both lists. So 2 different lists with different emails, but the same campaign. Because we want to see how they open up differently. And then eventually, after testing this, we can see how we should run in the future. So now we're going to speak about the most important thing when it comes to split testing, and that is split testing your subject line. Because when people see that email pop up, all they're going to see is the subject line and maybe the first few lines of the email, depending on your autoresponder. But that subject line is going to say, hey, this looks interesting. I'm going to open this email. or hey, this is whatever, and I don't want to see this kind of content. So if your subject line is bad, people are not going to open your emails. If they're not opening your emails, they're not reading your content, and you're not making any sales. So all of this is pointless. So you need to have a great subject line. So we need to split test our subject line to see what gets people, what intrigues people to open up our emails. So it's very important that a bad subject line can also lead to spam. If you put the wrong words inside of your subject line, or try to be too musally or too markety inside of your subject lines, you're going to go directly to spam and people are not going to see your content. So there's certain things you can do to avoid this process. Don't go to spam. Avoid using these words: offer, free, act now, using excessive caps inside of your subject line, using excessive punctuation like a whole bunch of exclamation marks or a whole bunch of question marks. You need to avoid these things, because if you're going directly to spam as well, no one's ever going to see your content. So you need to be careful with your subject lines. So which different subject lines can we actually split test? Well, there's different kinds we can try out. Like we can try out attention grabbing subject lines, like the Valley of Despair with a big skull and crossbones emoji. If somebody sees this pop up on their phone or on their desktop, they're immediately going to go like, oh my gosh, what is this? Because it grabs their attention and they're more likely to open up your email. Or you can try something like urgency. Make it sound like if they don't do this now, or if they don't read this now, they're going to miss out. Something like live webinar starts in 1 hour, or only 5 spots left. This piques people's attention because they see like, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss out on this unless I open this now and read this now. You can also put different call to actions inside your subject line. You need to do this so you don't miss out on this. If you don't go over to my website now, you're going to miss a special that's going to end today. And these kind of attention grabbing headlines like that with a call to action inside, it piques people to open up the email because they don't want to miss out on what the opportunity could be. What you can also try to do is take the same subject line or headline and do it in different wording. So you may say, make a split test of 2 different emails or 2 different lists, and you can take the same subject line but put it in a different way. So you can swap the wording around a little bit and see which one gets a better open rate. It's also very important that you put these kind of things also in the first 2 lines of your email. Like I said before, some autoresponders show your subject line and your first 2 lines. So if you have a very powerful subject line, in your first 2 lines, you also put some calls to actions, maybe a link or some very important information, then people are more likely to open up your emails. So the things you need to keep inside of your subject line and the first 2 lines would be something like CTAs, calls to action, links, and active words. What do I mean by active words? In those first 2 lines, you need to direct people to what they need to do. Sign up for this, download that, click on this link. You need to give them active words. You need to tell people what to do with this email. Because if they're just sitting there reading the email and they don't actually know what to do with the email, they're never going to do anything. So if you don't say to them, click here, they're never going to click on your link. Or if you're going to say, download this, you need to get it out to them and express to them what they need to do. So the next thing we talk about is the design of your email. What you need to do is you need to have one main template. This is to keep people, so when they open your emails, they know what they're looking at. When they notice something, they're like, okay, I remember that from before. It keeps them to growing your brand, build your brand, because they see that the emails that are coming from you are all the same. But what things can you test inside of it? So we need to build familiarity with your name and your brand. So this is what we keep consistent. So if you've chosen to do a personal brand, you need to have your name, or your business brand, you need to put your logos and stuff. But this needs to be consistent, your template of your name, your email address, your logo, your signature, these kind of things. And also with this of the intro, the body, the sign-ups, keeping consistent, you need to keep your message consistent. When you're speaking in your email, you can't say one thing in this email, completely contradicted in the next email, and then in the third email, you're speaking about a completely different topic. Because this is going to lead people to not understanding what you're about, and they're not going to understand your brand. We need to build your brand, because this is how we're going to make money with email marketing. So make sure to keep that message consistent. So what are we going to split test then inside of our emails? You can do different things. You can test out using caps locks inside of your emails when giving calls to actions. Or maybe you want to bold the headline of something that's very important. Or you can throw in different font sizes. Maybe your call to action you want to be a little bit bigger, or maybe your link you want to make it a little bit bigger. You can throw in some images inside of your emails. But this you need to be very careful with, because images on a desktop can open up in a couple of seconds. But an image inside of a cell phone or somebody's mobile, if the image is too big, when they try to open the email, it's going to take a while to load up and they're going to be lost already because you don't have the time to grab their attention. So be very careful with images, or just try to use smaller images. You can also try to use different colors inside your emails. So maybe your brand is a specific color. You can try them out in your emails. Maybe you make some headlines in different colors, or maybe you want to change the background to a different color. I don't suggest this because also it affects the loading time. So keep it maybe black and white writing. White background and black writing. And then if you want something important in a different color, maybe change it like that. You can also try using italics inside of your emails. So guys, we're halfway through the training today. And if you're getting value out of this training today, I please ask you to like this video and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can come back and get more amazing content from me. And I'll always provide value for you. I take the time and effort to make these videos for you. So make sure to smash that like button and comment down below if you have any questions. But without further ado, let's get back into your training. So the next thing we talk about is the content in your email. What are you putting inside of your email? Because we all know content is king. With your first two lines, you need to put the important information here, because a lot of people have like an 8-second attention span. So if they open up the email and the first couple lines don't grab their attention, they are not going to read on. So you might as well increase your chances of them clicking on something or going somewhere by putting a call to action or links in the first two lines of your email. So like I said before, important information first. What you can try and test different things is, maybe in the beginning you put a call to action and a link in one email, and then the next one to test something different, maybe you give a quick summary of what's going to happen in this email. So what you could say is, in this email, I found this amazing product that's going to boost your traffic and boost your email marketing by 100%. If you make it all the way to the end, I'll give you X, Y, and Z bonus, and it's going to be great for helping you grow your business. So this is like a quick little snippet about what they're going to learn inside of the email. So it grabs their attention. Oh, I want to grow my business. I want to grow my email marketing. I need to read this email. And then, hey, I need to make it to the end because I need those bonuses. So if you give like a short little description of what your email is about in the beginning, they are more likely to finish the email. So what do I suggest in the beginning of your emails? So we can do different links inside of your emails. I normally recommend 2 links inside of it, because if you start putting links everywhere and just to try to sound too salesy, people are not going to enjoy your emails. So I recommend between 1 to 2 links per email, maybe one at the top and one at the bottom. For the people who have a short attention span, they can click on the first one. And the people who read your entire email, they can scroll down to the bottom, finish reading, and click. And they don't have to scroll back up. This is what I recommend too. But you can do 3 or 4 if you'd like to try it out. But after then, your emails become too salesy and people are less likely to buy. Different things you can also test out are actually using your physical links. Like if you look in the bottom left-hand corner here, you can have that link to your website, www.whateveryourwebsiteit.com, or you can have click texts. So this is what that means is, and a lot of autoresponders in different programs, you can drag over a certain piece of writing and then turn that into a link, and then you would copy and paste your link inside of that. So they would either see your actual link, or they'll just see this click here button, and they can click on that, and it's going to go over to your website. So a very important as well inside of your bodies are your call to action, because it's all good and well having this amazing email where you speak about your product and this is great about it, and you get X bonus, and you do this, and you can do that. But if they don't know where to go after the email, they're not going to follow through. So you need to be very careful with your call to actions. So you need to say to them, this is my product, this is the bonuses you can get. It's amazing because of whatever you want to make it amazing about. I don't know what your product is, but you need to have that call to action inside of it, saying, now that you know everything about it, click on this link to find out how you can get it, or click on this link over here to take you over to this training. You need to make sure you have that call to action, because people are very lazy. And if you don't tell them what to do, they are not going to do it. So you need that call to action saying, hey, you've read this, now go here. Also, with the content, I know this sounds stupid, but you need to make it interesting. If you send me an email and it's about, I don't know, stuff that I don't care about or something that's boring, like this statistic and this statistic and this statistic and something that's not maybe not, I wouldn't say entertaining, but we need to throw a little bit of entertainment in your marketing to intrigue your viewers. So if it's boring, they're not going to read your content, and that's going to lead to a lot of unsubscribes. If you send me something that's boring every single day and doesn't pique my interest, I'm going to unsubscribe and I'm never going to buy from you. And you would do the exact same thing. So you need to make sure your content is interesting and entertaining at the same time. So like I said before, with the images, you need to try different images inside of it. Maybe a picture of your logo, or maybe throw up a picture with yourself or a picture of you and your family, depending what you like. But you also need to remember, like I said before, the sizes of the images. Be very careful, because most people are using their mobile phones these days, and actually most of your marketing is actually going to people's phones and not really their computers. So if you're on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or wherever you're doing your marketing or your email marketing, most people are on their phones. So you need to be careful about that, because if that image is too big, it's gonna take a couple seconds to upload, and they're actually gonna walk away from it because they might be on Wi-Fi or they might be on their data. But you need to be very careful with these kind of things. So the next thing we talk about is the timing of your emails. So you need to split test. When are you sending your emails? At what time? When are they opened? Are they getting buried by 1,000 different kind of emails? And your autoresponder. So when I say when are you sending it? So today I'll make sure the email goes at 1 o'clock. Tomorrow the email goes at 2 o'clock. The next day 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 o'clock. And then you have a whole spread of different times that the email's gone out. Maybe you want to try it from the morning. It's up to you. But you can see, okay, the 8 a.m. email got opened up at a 40% rate. The 10 at 20%, at 12 o'clock, because they're on their lunch break, maybe 50%. And then the 3 o'clock was at 10%, and at 5 p.m. it was 5% because they were irritated when they got home from work. So this is only to test when you are sending it, so you understand when your audience is opening their emails. So obviously we want to send them at the time that they're opening the most. So you may only get a 50% rate of opening at a specific time, but it's better than a 10 or a 20%. So this is where it comes to when they are opened. Because also, you're not the only person sending the emails. This is where I'm saying, are they getting buried? Maybe it's not just because your timing is off. Maybe they want to read your content, but maybe at 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning, they're receiving 100 or 200 or 300 emails. And maybe your email got there first and just got completely buried. So you need to check also with your autoresponder, because a lot of them actually you can test these kind of things. They show you rates and times and different things when your emails are opened and if they are getting buried or not. So you need to check what your autoresponder can actually do for you. So like I said before, we need to test the timing because everybody is different. For me, when I wake up in the morning, I don't go directly and look at my emails. I wake up in the morning, I go listen to some music, I eat my breakfast, I go to shower, I get dressed, I sit at my desk, and then maybe I'll pick up my phone and open my emails at, let's say, 8 o'clock. But then you get some people who wake up at 5 a.m. and the first thing they do is check their emails. Or maybe it's a person who is doing it in their lunch break or after work. Everybody is different and different people do things at different timings. So this is why it's important to split test the different timings that you are doing in it. What's also very important are where is your audience? Are they in New York? Are they in Paris, Moscow, Beijing, Sydney? They can be all around the world because we are selling online, so we can sell to anyone in the world. So what you need to do is try and test where your people are from. What I try to do is, I know it's difficult and this is more higher level kind of stuff, and this takes a lot of time. But what I've done is I move my email list around. So I know I'm in the UK. So if I'm sending my email now, maybe it's 3 o'clock in the morning somewhere else, or maybe it's someone's busy at work at this time, but in the UK it might be the good time. So I try to split my lists up. So I have one list. these are my clients inside of the UK. And then these are my clients in the USA. These are my clients in Australia. These are my clients in Canada. These are my clients in New Zealand. So these are the big 5 countries. To try and break it up into the smaller countries is a lot more difficult. But normally the smaller countries are closer to these time zones, so it might be okay. So then I know it's this specific time, people in America are at either waking up or they're on their lunch break or they just got home from work. So I've split this different times for my American list, and then I know what time my email needs to go to America. So I set up my campaign and I put my timing there. So this is my American list, release at this time. And then I have the exact same campaign in my UK list, but it does it 6 hours later because I know what time my UK list is actually opening up their emails. This is more advanced stuff, so get the basics done first, and then you can go deeper into your different timings and different zones and where your people are coming from. So if you're not sure how to word your emails, like you have your content and you know what you want to say, but maybe you're not saying it in the right way or a way that's going to grab someone's attention, because this can be very important. Because I can say one thing and you can say one thing, but it's going to grab attention in a different way because the way I word it and the way you word it. If you'd like to learn copywriting, one of my friends, Dave Sharp, has created an ebook. I'll leave a link for you below in the description of this email. It costs $1.99 at the moment, $1.99. I don't think the price is going to go up anytime soon. But if you click on that link, you'll get a downloadable of the Copywriters playbook. And this gives you a step-by-step guide about how you can get better at copywriting, which is the wording inside of your email. It shows you a whole bunch of different things like the template in order to do it. Like, okay, I have this subject line, but did I think about this, this, and this? When I put my email into action, did I put everything in the correct order? Did I put the information that's important first? Did I put the correct information in the middle and at the end to tell them what to do? It's like a checklist, not really a checklist, but it kind of guides you through the process of writing your emails to grab people's attention and to increase your sales. So if you'd like a copy of that, make sure to click the link below and it's going to take you over and you can download it. If you're still a bit confused about this, I've created a video where I actually have an email and I go through it step by step. I've written out the email and I say, this is why I put this here. This is why I put this here. And a whole bunch of different tactics that I use when I do my email marketing. If you want to see this and get some templates from me on email marketing, make sure to watch this video over here. And it's going to take you over to the video where I explain these kind of things. And you're going to learn everything you need to know to put inside of your email and get some templates. If you got value today, remember to smash that like button, drop down a comment if you have any question, and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can get more videos from me. And have a great day.